Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company podcast, where, three amigos, we're here today, having a good time. To my right, Levi Gates.
What's up, guys?
I'm your host, Dane Hennon, and to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. This is great. It's a great way to start a Monday.
Yeah.
I'm just, I shaved my body for this.
Everything.
I feel like we're like
everything underneath my
on
shirt.
a cruise ship, like falling sideways.
So
maybe that's just the way
I do that on special occasions. I know, Anthony, you did that when you got on a special occasion for yourself. You also shaved. I think it was like on a Tuesday. Something was.
It's just to make myself more aerodynamic.
That's the reason. Yeah.
Well, but
I like doing it for when same reasons. When I need to be aerodynamic, I need to be able to cut through the wind.
Yeah.
And
less downforce.
Reach my height of performance. That's when I do that. And thanks to our friends at Brooks Running for being able to keep us with that snap off the line, that quickness.
It's very fast.
It's one of those things that I've started thinking, do I need to start running just because of my shoes?
Honestly, the shoes do it for you.
That's what I feel like. When I drive by my neighbors, they're out there running.
Yeah.
They're out there getting it on. I'm like,
man, that's
right there with you.
Yeah.
So I got my Brooks on.
Yeah, the shoes do the work.
Yeah. I usually am in my car passing them, but
I just wanted to point out that the last few times I've seen Anthony shave his face, it was so he could leave the mustache.
That is true.
That was a choice.
That
was a thing that you did. The first time you did it was when we went to Europe, and you thought just that was a thing. All Europeans have mustaches.
When you go to Europe, went to the UK.
Yeah.
And I
went
just
to
assumed
UK.
that it was
They'd be
an
very
English
mad if we
thing.
said Europe. But you said, I thought this was like the European look.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Apparently, everybody said I still look like a cop.
They're like, you
a
have to tell
lot
me
of
if you're
big cop energy.
Yeah, big cop energy, and they honestly just said it just wasn't working out.
Everybody
for
thought it
me.
was very strange.
Yeah.
So no, I did shave my face. Honestly, this is the truth, right? I'm just lazy.
Yeah,
I just grow it out. People are like, oh, growing out your beard. No, I'm not. I'm just literally just haven't shaved it yet. And then it gets to the point where I'm 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, and then I go, oh man, I probably should shave my face, right?
Yeah.
So then I shave it up, and then it just restarts again.
Yeah. One of the great things about you being lazy is you could benefit from our friends over at thebeardstruggle.com.
Yeah.
And use the code
absolutely.
Levi15 to get 15% off some of the greatest balms and oils for your face.
Well, Ed, you dodged a dollar shave ad, but you got that instead. All right. So anyway,
but
before we go into
you're right, it is laziness. Dane, though, is not lazy. He likes to keep his beard trimmed, keep his beard looking fresh. I was watching an episode of the podcast where Dane actually shaved off his beard last year.
Yeah, it's a weird
Uncomfortable.
look.
Sweet baby face Dane.
It's really uncomfortable.
It was, I remember because you said I accidentally I clipped a spot too short. And so I
had to commit.
I just shaved it all off. And we were like, that is, wow. Because you surprised all of us that day.
Yeah, no. I need to lose more weight before that happens again.
No, I don't know. Like I guess it's because the thing is, what I like to do is I like to take the trimmer, but like on the shortest setting or like with no cover on it, whatever it is, right?
Guard.
And I just go in and knock it down, right? Now, if I'm going for a super clean shave, then that's when I lather myself up with our friends at Cremo.
Yeah,
right.
Some of the finest shaving balms.
It's called their Finest Reserve, is what it is, and I put on the Cremo Reserve blend, which is just a combination of just pure masculine energy. Is very manly. Wow. And then I go through with one of my Gillette, the best a man can get, razors, and shave everything down. But it's just a lot of work.
Shaving?
Yeah, I just hate it.
You should grow a beard.
Well,
no,
but the hard part is if you
But
grow
I
a beard,
hate the
though,
way-
it's
I only
maintenance too in a different way.
And like sides of my face a little bit. That's it.
No, the thing is, I like looking youthful. I know that's counter to what most
the hair
people
keeps
like.
your face looking younger,
I'll
longer
put it this
because
way:
it protects
Anthony
it from
doesn't
the
need
sun.
to look youthful for people to think he is youthful.
True, that is true.
His personality carries most.
Yeah, I know, but I want to stay looking kind of young and fresh and hip. right?
Like
So
kids.
you're having a midlife crisis before you hit midlife.
Well, Dane, I've been having a midlife crisis for the past 10 years.
My kid said that I looked like an old man with my beard.
Oh,
He
no.
said you got too
I mean,
much
you got
white.
some gray going on.
a lot of
That's
I'd
what
like some
happens.
facts on that.
Yeah.
If there is anybody that can pull up some facts on a beard actually retaining your youthful look up until a point, like it preserves you, or if it doesn't preserve you, I'd be interested to know that, because I feel like with a beard, it's hard to moisturize and get in there. Where
That's what the balms are for. Courtesy of our friends at Beard
it
Struggle.
Get in there.
Oh, Viking Storm, one of the greatest
if it doesn't,
scents.
you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this?
So these are new shirts, Dane.
These are new shirts on the table. We need a.
So here's the deal. Wanted to show them to you guys a little bit. So these are going to be available on Thursday. This Thursday, they're going to be live on the website. Now, what you're seeing is the Dreammaker shirt, and it is very nice, right? And then on the back, it's got a Rag Company logo there. So really great shirt. You
What's
guys
cool
saw
is
us all
that-
wearing
so
them.
Nate Schrum, Next Day Nate, actually designed this himself, right?
Yeah, this is a
And
Next Day Nate original.
honestly, I think everybody said it's one of his best designs.
It is.
Yet.
A lot of people said that.
And he was like, guys, I literally just took the label from Dreammaker and I just put it on a shirt.
And all of us were like, wow,
We're like,
this is revolutionary.
Turns out,
Dude.
less is more.
Yeah.
less is
When you
more.
try hard, bad things happen. When
So I want
barely
you guys
try,
to send,
perfection.
spam out Next Day Nate's Instagram.
Yeah, his
Send him
email, just
comments,
say,
send
hey,
him messages. Just say,
you are a designer.
you are the designer because of this shirt.
Now,
Yep.
we have another shirt, Levi.
Oh.
This is
Now, this one I haven't seen.
This is the
in
block
this
design.
color.
child size.
They're all smalls. I grabbed these two in smalls.
It's for display purposes.
So
Yeah, I
the
didn't want you
Rag
wearing
Company in white with Rag Company
Yeah.
t-shirt in white with
Yeah.
blue accents. Now, we told Mr. John Green, I said, hey, I'm not huge on wearing white shirts personally, right? I just told him, I said, hey, I'm not big on it. And Levi doesn't really like to wear white shirts as much
Yeah.
either.
I don't.
But we know that some people do.
Some people love white shirts. They like that
And
crisp,
they're
clean
light,
feeling.
They're freeing. They're crisp. They keep the heat off, right? So if this is something you're interested in, prove us wrong. Purchase one of these shirts.
Yeah.
So-
the Rag Company.
The white T-shirt, the block logo, is going to be added to the lineup, so you can pick it up anytime. However, the Dreammaker shirt, it's limited.
How limited?
Limited stock.
What's that mean?
Like when it's out, it's out.
Yeah, but
so
what does that mean? in terms of
Thursday, it means it's not
quantities?
coming back.
So, but yeah, it's not really answering the question.
It's a
of
standard
quantities.
quantity that we buy.
He's keeping it vague on purpose.
So, I mean, are we working with 10 shirts?
No, there's more than that.
There's
Oh,
quite
that's good.
quite
So,
a few.
Here's the deal, though. When it's out, when it's sold out, it's sold out. It's done.
Yeah.
We're not going to bring it back.
yeah.
Basically, not
So
knowing how
this
much
is
inspires
your
urgency.
chance to own a Dreammaker shirt.
Well, I think it's also a great conversation piece. You go out to
Yeah.
the clubs, you go out to a bar,
Yeah.
right? You know
What's
you see yourself
Dreammaker?
a
Make
pretty
dreams
pretty
come
woman
true.
or a pretty man,
Yeah.
and then it kind of sparks the conversation. And they go, oh, "Dreammaker, what's that all about?" And you look at them and you say, "It's exactly what you think it is," and they say, "I don't know what that means."
Yeah.
And you say, "Well, first off, it's a detailing product, but I myself am also a dreammaker."
I am, because of the use of this detailing product.
And then they'll go, well, who's Double Black and who's Rennie Doyle? And you'll say somebody that's also willing to
It's a Dreammaker as well.
make these dreams come true
Yep.
for both of us, potentially. Can I get you another daiquiri?
I don't know if it works that way, but you
Oh,
look
dear.
cool helping detail someone's car, walking
Oh,
around. Maybe you're just out. People are going to be asking, what's Dreammaker? And this is what's so great about it. It's probably the only logo we could put on a shirt that looks great.
Yeah.
You know, no one wanted the Express.
Oh,
No,
well,
nobody
Interior
wanted
cleaner.
the carpet bomber.
Carpet bomber finisher.
I think that might be a little unpopular certain places. You
Yeah,
might
yeah,
not
no,
want to
Terminator. Well,
that.
Terminator
Yeah.
might
Travel.
actually be fun. Have the Terminator shirt.
Yeah.
Terminator would be fun.
Terminator would be all right.
Express interior cleaner though, like
It just
depending on
didn't
where
have
you
the
wear that.
It didn't have the gravitas though that Dreammaker had. Beadmaker would also be kind of fun.
I mean, if you worked in,
Clarity,
down in,
Paint gloss.
paint gloss, clarity cream. There's a lot of ways you can make
Hey,
that
bead
work.
maker, they might think you just work at, like Mardi Gras festivals or something.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just some, dynamic dressing. I nothing really works. Stream Maker tends to work a little bit better, so we're gonna roll with it. Limited quantities. Other housekeeping things that we have for this week, right? What do we have? Any chance a Beatmaker shirt would drop? Gosh, Ed, why do you have to say this? Because
John's going to hear it.
I think it might
see
confuse
it,
some
and
people.
they're going to make it happen. Maybe for Halloween, right? Orange would look pretty cool.
That'd be nice,
right?
yeah.
Potentially. Mm-hmm. So we are coming up on the month of October.
Yep.
Pretty exciting. A couple big sale things that we're looking forward to this month.
So Thursday is a sale.
Yes.
Make sure you sign up ragcompany.com. If you're not signed up for the email blast that goes out, the 2 shirts I don't believe are going to be on sale, but they will be on sale on the website, meaning they'll be ready for purchasing.
Yeah. So Scott Mattern wants to know, can we get an FU shirt? People should know about Fresh Up. I absolutely agree.
That's a great one.
Right?
They should.
Fresh Up.
Just the
men.
pink band with the FU and just the Coach logo.
Yeah.
We could keep in that Nate Trum design theme that he likes to use.
That aesthetic
Just
that
pull
he's
the label.
known so well for.
Just pull the label off of a thing and put it on there.
Agreed.
FTW t-shirts.
It
That's
just
a good
keeps
one,
going.
Shirley.
So,
Love
guys,
it. All right.
Back to what I was
So,
saying.
Anthony, sales coming up.
Full sales coming up. We actually ended the Grand Ambassador application period as of today.
Okay.
It's over.
So,
thank you to all those applied.
Several hundred applicants, right? As usual, somebody going through this week and dialing those in and checking everything out. And if you don't get picked, don't take any personal offense to it. It's not.
Seriously, don't feel bad about it.
It's not like that. It means that maybe this quarter was not your quarter, but maybe the next one, if you you got to up your game, right?
Yeah.
Things I'm looking for when it comes to a Grand Ambassador, I look for consistent posting, whether it's in story form or on the main page forum, and I look for quality photos. I look for quality videos. I look for anybody that, kind of stands out and has, very creative. Those are the things that kind of pop to me. So I'm going to be going through, doing the judgments this week, and then I think by this Monday, which will be October 4th, I will be posting our Grand Ambassadors for this final quarter, right? And then from there, end of December, right? That's when the big thing comes, right? Ooh. The Grand Ambassador of the Year award.
Oh, yep.
Which, man, for the last 2 years, it's been a major award.
Pretty awesome award.
It's been a major
award. A major award.
It's been a major award. It's been this massive package of everything you could want in detailing, which is amazing. But are we doing that again this year?
That's the question. We wanted to do that first year, and then we thought, man, the next year we could do like a trip, like to come to SEMA or Mobile Tech or something with us, like an all expenses kind of paid kind of deal. But then COVID happened, and we were forced to go back. But I will tell you, one of the great things is that this year, Brooks Running has said they would love to be a part of the Grand Ambassador of the Year.
That's great,
So
actually.
they can
we
travel
do
in
have
style.
you will be getting the Grand Ambassador of the Year, regardless whether it's travel, whether it's anything. We'll be getting a comfortable pair of Brooks running shoes. So
maybe put them on once they get, once they get here.
We could
once
submit them.
That's the first thing they open up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it could be another prize situation. We still need to figure that out. I mean, everybody's more than willing to donate things for the cause, and we feel like our last 2 Grand Ambassadors or Grand Ambassador of the Years have really utilized everything they've got, right, to pursue business, to pursue their passions. And for example, Zaya, who's now 48 detailing, which previously was Carnuba detailing. And then and Zaya's doing awesome. He's killed it, man. 48 detailing.
Yeah, beautiful shop.
YouTube
Great
channel, shop. I mean, multiple employees now, and it all kicked off from the Grand Ambassador of the Year. Yep. And then we also have Mountain Town Detail, and Justin is out there killing it. Making sure to still maintain vehicles. He's got a full garage shop outfitted now at this point. It's very impressive. So we will see just what this year holds.
Yeah,
so,
I'm really excited. And this was a good year. We had a
really
lot of great,
almost too good.
Almost too good.
Almost
so
too good.
To those that
Some
applied,
of you are real good.
To those that applied, if you get chosen, you got to make up some time. That's the hard part with this fourth quarter crew.
Well,
they got to really show off the best.
Justin was a fourth quarter last year.
He was,
and he got it. So
That's what I'm saying.
It is possible.
It's very possible.
Now,
it's just
But I'm
hard.
just saying, this year though, the first quarter, second quarter, those guys, third quarter even have been amazing. So,
dude, yeah, the first quarter, they know who they are. They know. They know. They are. I think arguably one of the most fun quarters I think we've had in the almost 3 years we've been doing this. They're just a blast.
Not to say that others haven't been. It's just this crew has been exceptionally.
The program is what you put into it. I mean, basically, you get out of it what you put into it.
Right.
And the friendships and the relationships and all of that you kind of create. I mean, basically, we host this program. We make it happen, and we provide you with the tools and everything to have fun and be creative. But I think it's the people within it that really take it and run with it and make friends. Like, basically I say, hey, let's introduce you. Let's get you going. Take it from here, right?
Yeah.
It's like a giant. It's like me. I'm a teacher,
right?
Putting together my class. Yeah. And then people making friends within that class for life or whatever it is. And it's really cool. So we'll see. Quarter 4. I'm going to try to pick out some good ones. I'm going to try to do my best to curate that.
Well, this is the one thing I wanted to butt in on, just because I think it's one of the most important aspects of why you may choose one potential Grand Ambassador over another. And this is something that people may not always think about, but it's something that is generally front of mind, at least I know for you, is the interaction somebody can develop on their profile. You don't have to have necessarily the best or most professional looking pictures or the biggest following or any of those things, but how you're able to interact with people, if you're able to get engagement on your individual posts and stuff, that goes a long way. And that really helps people who may otherwise think like, I don't have a shot. It's like, well, if you have good back and forth with people, good, interaction, people want to comment on your stuff. It's not always about the biggest numbers. It's just about having that drive and that engagement. That does a lot. So for people in the future who are like, what can I do to really improve my game? Figure out how you can drive that up, and you'll have a really good shot. I'm just throwing that out there for people.
Yeah, I like that. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some weekends. I know Dane had a pretty exciting weekend. I'm going to check out my pictures here, make sure if there's anything I missed from my weekend. But go ahead, Dane, kick us off.
Yeah, sure. All right. So my weekend, I don't usually get out and do stuff. So this weekend was nice.
Well, yeah, you've got so many home projects that you're always working on.
I seem to keep finding
Liz
more.
has a list that
Sprinkler
she keeps
system's working now, so I'm happy about that
Yeah.
after years of not functioning.
Yeah, all right, up top.
Which
Yeah.
is awesome, and I love it.
Got them just in just in time to turn them off.
All right.
They're off. They're
Clean
off
the filters.
now. All right,
water
they're all,
goes.
but they're fixed and ready to go for next year.
Yeah.
The problem, as was discovered by the handyman I had come and basically point out, I'm like, what have I missed? What am I just not seeing here? And he's a guy who's worked on a lot of farms and stuff, so he's used to sprinkler systems. He's like, yeah, let me check that out. And then after going through my whole system, he found that actually in one of the boxes there was a wire, and of course, I didn't know what the wire did. Turns out it was a wire that ran between some solenoid and stuff. It basically ran the whole system. So without that, this frayed wire was preventing the entire thing from working. The water pressure that the sprinklers were getting just wasn't enough. And that was the whole problem, is the heads would barely come up. And I was always like, they're getting water. I don't know what the problem is. Yeah. But apparently they weren't getting the power that they were supposed to, so the zones were all messed up and stuff. So he went in there and switched those out, and next thing I know, it's midnight last night, and I suddenly hear a sprinkler hit the side of the house. Scares the crap out of me because I forgot it got fixed.
You haven't heard it in how many years?
So about 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
Now, so that backyard now is now about to grow into something even crazier.
Yeah, no, I'm horrified at what that's going to do to my backyard. So I am going to be dumping ground clear on it tonight to make sure that doesn't
Dane,
kill it all.
You already ground cleared that backyard.
I'm going to do it again because I don't trust those weeds.
Yeah, because what I know
Life
in the Hennon
finds
family,
a way.
There's a green thumb, right?
There is a green thumb,
and
it ain't me.
Which means
no, Dane has it. It's passed down.
It got passed down,
and he doesn't use it.
That backyard has had the growth that most backyards would see in 10 years for you in about 1 year.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
The thing is you can grow things.
Yeah.
You emit growth.
Yeah.
Right?
It steals energy from batteries surrounding him and then expels it into plant growth.
Sure.
That's how
what
it works.
I'm trying to say is, Dane, all you have to do is manicure, right?
Yes, true.
You need to, I guess.
What you need to do is pay somebody to come manicure the area that you grow so well.
You can grow it, right? You put it into
or
the ground.
Or I can pay somebody to spread a bunch of concrete and never have to worry about that for as long as I own the home.
But why would you want to throw away this gift that so many people struggle to have?
Yeah. There are many people.
Do people want their weeds to grow faster?
No, they just want to grow their plants.
But have you tried throwing in like a normal plant?
Do you have any indoor plants?
Times.
Do you have indoor plants?
I have corn plants inside my house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think what you need is a couple of Venus flytraps.
And I actually do a good job keeping them alive.
Things interesting.
Yeah, fun. They're let Callie out in the morning.
Yeah, no, my
all
dog
of a sudden
goes,
she may not come back.
It, regrets it.
Yeah. Like, Dane, you grew the biggest Venus flytrap we've ever seen. Like, in existence.
It's just going to be a little shop of horrors all over.
Yeah. But I think that...
Your dad's like, what is this thing? Oh,
good God.
They're growing. I bought it at Albertsons. They sell them.
Yeah. So I'm happy that's working, but you're right. It also gives me pause to think, things are going to start growing. Luckily, it's getting a little cooler out now, so maybe some of that's going to be mitigated by the eventual freeze that comes and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
It'll be interesting.
But
I would like to put in. I'd like to put in a little. Might ticket into the hat. That next year, Dane, you grow pumpkins. Start them off in March. All you got to do is let them go.
Do it, yeah.
You don't have to do nothing. You just let them go.
Pumpkins are kind of their own thing.
Feed them water, a little bit of extra dirt, and I think it could be something fun because then you could harvest them.
Replace the arborvitae along my back fence with
what
pumpkins.
The heck would Dane do with pumpkins?
Well, he'd put them out front.
Carve
he could sell them.
He
could carve them. He could make pies.
Eat the seeds.
He could do a lot of stuff. He could also. What you could do, give them to your brother. Have your brother come grab them. He could give them to all of his employees at his company.
What's the family that is within a pumpkin and like a squash? What's that family called of plants? It's called a.
I don't know. Squash plants.
No, it's Nick.
I got a frog in my yard that now has helped eat all the gourds.
Gourds. Yeah.
That's I have a frog in my pumpkin patch that has been eating all the squash beetles.
Oh.
He comes out at night, hangs out, sits on the patio with us. It's pretty funny because Watson has come up many times to sniff him over the last month and a half, and the frog literally just puts his paw or his little hand in his face and is like, get back, man. No. And Watson's like, oh, okay, sorry about that. And the frog just hangs out, and then he hops back into the pumpkin patch.
All right. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
He's doing a little extra work for you, a little pest control. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, not to get off topic here.
Sorry, but anyway, back to Dane.
No, actually, I was going to ask another question.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone? I believe it's I can't remember the word it's called, but it's frog spearing.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
What's that called?
I don't know. I think you just made it up. No. I think you just said frog
that sounds
spearing.
horribly mean.
No, there is it's a form of hunting, right?
Yeah,
of gathering.
Nope.
Right? Where it's not toads, but it is frogs.
Yeah.
Where you have a trident.
Then you go
and you
catch some frogs?
No. Frogs.
I don't live
You're
on
in
the
North
bayou.
America. You're thinking of South America.
Yeah.
No,
Central
Dane,
America.
No, I've done it. I've done.
Well, as a young Portuguese child, I could see that's something you do on the islands.
Well, no. So I went out and I did. It was I walked along a canal right as a kid with this old man, right, and my dad, and they had tridents, and they were like, "Yeah, this is a thing. You want to go out about dusk, right?
Yeah.
When the frogs are really,
jumping
they're
nocturnal."
And you,
it's gonna be like snipe hunting, isn't
gigging frogs,
gigging frogs,
Whoa,
right there.
Look at that.
There it is, David. So
no, I need my frog because I needed him to eat all these beetles because you can't use. There's no pesticides that kill them. You have to catch them and step on them. That's how you get these. My frog has been eating them.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that
normal frog.
I think everybody should probably experience frog gigging in their life.
For some reason, I'm imagining the same thing with catfish, where you just shove your fist in the water, except it's frogs, and that's kind of gnarly to me.
It's not like it's
that
not,
sounds awful.
I remember as a kid being like, "Dad, what are we doing?" And he's like, "Hey, he's a guy from work. He wants to take his frog gigging. He's super proud of his setup." I remember going out there.
But why?
He gives me this. He gives me this
why?
trident, and he's just like, "All right, so you're gonna gig your first
just
frog."
a fork. It's not a trident. It's just a big. It's a campfire fork. It's a campfire fork. It's got marshmallows still stuck to it.
I remember it was like anodized blue, and I was like, "This is badass.
my God.
What is this thing?" And he's like, "That's my frog gig and trident." And so you go out and you.
It's real hokey.
Yep.
Sounds
like
hokey.
But you do it, and then you throw them into this bag, but they're still moving.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
dig them.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what's the point of this?
You
He's like,
eat
it's all
frog
about
legs.
the frog legs.
Yeah. Eat the meat.
It suddenly becomes French. Okay,
Sorry.
so
Anyways, continue, Dane, with your
no, I
backyard.
just picture like kids who live where there are frogs.
my
and stuff,
kids were
just go
so
grab
excited to play with
go
the
and grab
frog. They were petting
frogs and
it,
stuff. That's fine.
making
That's
them
cool.
hop.
But like to have an adult doing it as some sort of practice, like, oh no, this is something we actually do purposefully. It's like whatever you get from that frog isn't going to be enough these
Yeah.
days. But okay, so
That's why you eat a lot of them. Anyway,
traditions. Yeah, sounds real fun.
so you weren't at home.
Right.
What'd you do?
Yeah, Liz and I were originally going to go and hang out with my folks up north. They got that little cabin there that's cool. It's like cozy. I mean, it's like a small apartment really, but it's cool because you're out in the woods and you're next to like the hill where the chairlift is on Tamarack. Like it's right there. So in the winter you'll be able to like ski out the door and just go up and stuff,
Yeah.
which will be fun. But right now it's all grass and brush and stuff. But you're in the trees, and I love that. I love being tucked away in the forest. That's like my favorite place to be other than next to the ocean. So yeah, I like that a lot. But anyway, unfortunately Liz couldn't go. She had a ton of homework and wasn't able to get it done in time for her to come up. So my brother hitched a ride with me, and we took Callie, my dog, and we went up to the cabin. So that was fun. And she had just gotten groomed, so I was a little worried that she might get real dirty on the trip, but actually worked out okay. She had this cute little barrette in her hair. Actually, I had a video I gave Nick just of me walking her along the path up to the cabin there.
Oh yeah, like a
Yeah.
barrette.
She's just, that harness I got for was kind of going off to the side, a little side saddle, but yeah, I was trying to find a harness that was big enough. It was just barely big enough.
Yeah.
But it was designed so I could tether her out in the yard behind the cabin, and yeah, you get the gist there. I drove the big truck up. That was exciting.
Is that the cabin?
That is. That's a
sweet.
garage, but you share the garage. One side is yours, one side is the neighbor's, and like all these little cabins are basically the
No,
place.
Were the
I
neighbors
love
excited
the,
that you literally took up all the parking?
So they actually have their own a little further
Okay,
down.
good. I was gonna say if that's
No,
supposed to fit
this
cars,
one,
and
this
it
little
took
alcove here is
the whole
just
truck.
for my folks' place. But
Nice.
yeah, so you get the idea anyway. Nick, you're good there. But yeah, it's basically just walking
That's
the
cool.
dog. So
I
yeah.
like the vibes are up in Tamarack.
I love
It's
the
such
feel of
good,
that place.
Like Swedish vibes.
Yeah,
They're
it's
trying
very-
to build,
very
like a
mountain.
Nordic village kind of
Very
thing.
Nordic
so
feeling.
it's got that feel to it, like a small Whistler or something like that.
I know, and then the wintertime they light their lamps at
Yeah.
night. So like
Yeah,
all
they have
the
lanterns all over the place
lanterns are
there.
everywhere, and it looks
love that.
very,
Yeah, it's
very
cool.
picturesque.
So very much a fan of that, but I, for some reason, had thought it was going to be a day trip and that I was going to be driving back, and my parents are like, oh no, this is meant to be over the weekend. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't bring anything. So yeah, kind of stuck up there. Wore the same clothes 2 days in a row. Didn't have much of a choice at that point, but
But you could have driven home.
it's, yeah.
What
but
did your brother also pack clothes?
Here's the problem, though. They told me don't drive home, and I agree because when we went up there, it was Oktoberfest. So we hung out at Oktoberfest
What
at
the
village
heck?
there. Yeah.
They were drinking beers down at
Yeah,
Tamarack?
they had Powder House and some other places out there. and they
Anthony,
were doing,
you could have been there.
They were
with
doing
your,
big brats
Why
and
didn't you tell me this?
pretzels.
I would
and
have
stuff.
loved to have gone
Yeah.
up there.
It was a good
Anthony
time.
loves big brats,
I'm
and he
pissed.
cannot lie.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gone up there. I would have ridden my motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
I'm up going through the windy
man.
roads. I said, Dane, hey, man, I'm here. I say, Jeff, Carolyn, I've
Let's
had
get
too
some
many
brats.
beers.
Yeah,
I'm going to need to crash on the couch. And they
Yeah.
would have said, that's totally fine.
It would have
Anthony."
been totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. And the thing is I didn't get the invite, so I didn't know it was happening.
Oh,
Seems like a lot of fun,
man.
though.
Yeah, it could have been.
it was fun.
Yeah.
You're welcome up there too, you know.
Yeah, I
So
know.
yeah, you're all welcome. But
yeah, someday.
yeah, it was one of those things where it
My
was
kids
just
will
like
destroy the place.
wonderful
They'll set it on
picturesque.
fire.
You
That's
could
what'll
you could
happen.
visit.
Augie will like light up. I was just lighting some grass outside.
Well,
Where'd you
Augie
get
burned
these?
the resort down.
Augie,
What
where'd you
happened?
get a lighter? He's like, no, I found these two rocks, and when I hit them together, they make sparks. He was doing that the other night. He was out there smashing rocks with his hammer.
Setting fields on fire with a magnifying glass.
No, he was out there with his hammer just making sparks the other night. That's what he would do. He's like, got my hammer. I'm going to go break some rocks. So,
man. So it was interesting, though. I guess I have to kind of rewind because before I drove up there, my brother and I were just leaving my parents' house. My parents had always started to drive up and went over to the Petsmart to get a tether with a retractable thing because I hadn't noticed that actually there's new tethers out there that literally just retract into a spool instead of being the normal little corkscrew thing you put down. So now you can get an actual like retractable tether, and it's got a rotating head, so it follows the dog any direction it goes, so it doesn't create weird tension on it.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like I'm done. Like
she doesn't
I had
pull
to buy
it
that
out
one.
of the ground.
You basically hammer it into the ground, so it takes some force, but it's like a garden stake.
I've never had a dog that has been able to be held in by one of those garden stakes.
This one, I think, would.
Of course, I did have a bulldog,
and
a Bassett hound. Very low. I have a lot of lower dogs. Lot of torque.
A lot of torque.
Off the line,
I see that, but I will say this one, where when you drive a stake in and they have like a couple of guide fins or something like that. This one had 4 sets of guide fins. It was that deep, so
that's pretty good.
Wow. It goes in quite a ways. So she wasn't going to pull that out. But it was perfect. Just 15 feet of cord, not enough to get in trouble, but just enough to like feel like you can go around, get on the deck, go out in the woods for a second. It was cool. So that was nice. But I'm rewinding because at that PetSmart parking lot, my brother and I were just starting to leave, and I heard this kind of like V8 rumble behind me. And I'm looking out the back window. And
you're like,
I kind of look back and I'm like, there's a gray Dodge Ram 1500 behind me. And I thought, no, it's probably not Anthony because, there's lots of those around here.
Right, yeah.
How can I tell his apart from the other ones?
Right.
But then I kind of heard more of a rumble, and I'm like, that doesn't sound
that's some
like
V8 power.
Stock exhaust.
That sounds like a Magnum.
Like something's been done to it. And then I kind of peek into my rearview mirror because I got the back
TRX?
window open for the dog, and I could see like,
Ram
the driver has
TRX.
glasses on.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Anthony.
Oh.
So then I kind of stopped for a second. I look back, and then there's Anthony waving.
What?
And it's like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? So...
Yeah.
As we were leaving,
did you tell him you were headed up to the cabin?
Yeah, we told him.
Yeah. So he
could have gotten an invite right there.
But didn't tell me it was an Oktoberfest situation.
Wow. Yeah.
Because you know what?
You could have brought the wife. You guys would have gone up for a day trip.
That's what we're doing for lunch today. Schnitzel Garden.
Man.
Let's go.
Man. We're going to Schnitzel.
Okay.
Honestly, we need to. We don't have to drink any beers, but let's go get a Schnitzel because right now it's Oktoberfest. Right now, hurts technically, right?
Yeah.
We'll eat half a Schnitzel.
Okay.
But we have not celebrated.
No, we haven't. We got Ram coming next week.
Ram doesn't. I think he's over the October. I think he's probably over it. When does Oktoberfest end?
He has enough exposure to like
end of October.
Germany on a regular basis.
End of September, isn't it?
It's end of September, I think. October.
So the main point was I was going to bring up was yes, I ran into Anthony in the parking lot on my way leaving from Eagle to go up north. And as we were leaving, there was a guy. He was playing like a violin or something in the parking lot. I'm like, a busker, interesting.
Yeah.
But then Anthony told my brother and I something that I wasn't expecting. And my brother and I thought, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Anthony, what did you explain to us? And then how did that turn out when you hung around to see for yourself?
Well, I'm going to just jump straight in my weekend, Dane, but here we go. So honestly, I think it ends. So it starts like mid-September and it ends the beginning of October. So right now we're in it. We need to go get some delicious Oktoberfest foods.
Okay.
Only being sold at the Schnitzel Garden.
So go ahead.
My weekend.
Tell us about the
I was
Busker.
asking about the Busker. I basically just set it up.
Because I've seen one up at my local Fred Meyer's on Federal Way. Provides delightful music.
I love
it's nice.
Buskers. Like when you go to a city center or something,
listen to it,
definitely throwing some change and stuff because I'm like, your music's beautiful more often than not.
No more than upon the River Thames.
Right.
When we are in London. Walking near the Eye, and there's a lot of buskers playing some great music. They go where the
tourists are. It makes sense.
Beautiful music. Love a busker. But this busker was a buster.
This is a sham.
Oh,
it is a sham, a scam. This is, don't fall for it. Don't be a sucker, right?
I thought the guy was playing a violin, and he had a little PA speaker to like give himself like a little backtrack while he played.
That's what I heard on mine that goes up there. Sounds like they're up there playing an electric violin, and they're doing cool music.
And I
it's
even saw him like do a little flub, and I
yeah.
heard it, so I was like, "Oh, it's legit. That's cool." Okay,
I thought, wow.
Yeah.
So here's how this actually works, right? I've seen it all over TikTok, and I've seen it on social media. What it is you have these people, right? That people have a word to refer to them as, but I don't think it's probably appropriate for me to say. I don't know if it's like a kosher
You can
word.
just avoid it for now. But yeah, basically a fake busker.
Yeah, so there's a word for it, but basically it's really common, right? And what these people do is they set up a PA system. They will always have an electric violin, right? And so they set up a PA, they have their electric violin, and what they'll do is they'll download all of the best violin covers that there is,
electric violin
covers. And so they'll set up their sign saying that their family is in need of help, they need money, or whatever it is, family sick, need money.
When I took a closer look at the sign after you sent me the picture of the guy's sign, that's when I went, oh, I should have looked closer because I didn't see what his sign said. The bottom of the sign immediately threw up a red flag to me.
Yeah, because what did it say there?
It gave us Cash App.
Yeah, correct, right? That's kind of weird.
Wait a second.
It's kind of weird
you're
that
you're not just looking for change here. You have a Cash App.
Have a Cash App.
I mean, I could see how maybe somebody who's a savvy, panhandler or something ends up with a Cash App or something, if it makes sense. But this just felt a little off.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of homeless people panhandling, talking on cell phones, literally like on speaker, talking to their friends.
And that's okay. If a communication device, I'm not going to fault somebody
But it's
for
a
that.
smartphone.
Yeah.
They can have a Cash App.
Right, and I get that. I just
all
mean there was something that just combined with the other aspects
Well, he's a
suddenly
savvy,
made it feel like a
tech-savvy
little
hobo.
more.
It's a tech savvy thing. So basically, what these people will do, they stand near like a Winco. They'll stand near
like the Fred Meyer's up on Federal Way.
Yeah, this is right between Petsmart and Winco. So
Home
grocery
Depot,
store,
Lowe's, whatever. They'll stand
Shopping
near
center.
these places, right? And they set up, right? They set up their sign, they set up their PA system, and they have their electric violin. And they have all these covers available at their fingertips, popular covers. So what they're doing is they are just mimicking the movements. So while it does take a little practice to learn how to mimic movements on an electric violin, they will learn how it's done. And for the most part, a movement of a bow, right? The finger motions, right, aren't super noticeable to the general public, right? But the movement of the bow is. So as long as the movement of the bow matches, then that's pretty convincing. And so what they do, they turn on a cover, right? A cover of whatever they want to play to, and they'll sit there. Now, if you notice, right, they will constantly be moving. They don't stay still, right?
Yeah, disguises.
So what they do is they move to the side, disguising their finger movements, disguising the way they're holding the bow and all of this, and they are faking. They are faking playing violin. Now, why this is the perfect thing to fake is because who plays a violin anymore publicly, right? Or how many people are playing violin these days? Not a lot that you would see on a street in terms of a performer, especially
if you're
being
not
around
in a big city center, you're much
areas.
less likely to see it. Here anywhere in Boise, you're not very likely to see hardly any buskers at all.
No, and so violin is one of those instruments where it's kind of already very unique, and so when most people see it, they just assume if you're holding a violin, you obviously know what you're doing, right? But what they do is they mimic it and they fake it. They're not actually playing. But what's funny is how they can convince people, right, that they're actually playing is sometimes they'll have a foot pedal, right, that they click the foot pedal, right? They can then flub something up, right? Or if
which is when I saw him, because I was going by, I only looked at him for about 15 seconds or so, and when I saw him, it was kind of, and it was like a little, and I was like, oh.
What they'll do is they'll hit their foot pedal when somebody is approaching, and then they'll strum some things on the violin, whether it's out of tune or in tune or
doesn't
whatever.
matter.
It shows them that the sound is coming from
the
violin, right? And then they start their cover, right? Click off their foot switch, and then they're back at it, right? So it's a completely fake thing. And
it's Ashley Simpson lip syncing on SNL all over again.
Yeah, it's just, but it's frustrating because these people are making so much money. And people think that these people are really in need, whereas really they're not. You should see the cars that they're driving away in, just like any other situation like that. And some people say, oh, they're a performer, they're an entertainer, Anthony, you shouldn't get so upset about it, or you shouldn't be bothered by it. But I guess the problem is it's kind of like a stolen valor situation.
You don't like seeing people
where,
take advantage.
Well, I don't
like
want to see people take advantage of other people, but also I'm like, dude, it takes people so long to learn how to play an instrument, and the fact that you just show up and pretend, right? And people think that you're some like gifted, unseen person, that it's like it bothers me.
Yeah. Well, and I think in comparison to like some of the what I've noticed is we do have quite a bit of homeless population in Boise. We've been getting a lot.
It bothers me that they're giving other folks a bad look or a bad name who are in that position, who are actually hurting, and I feel terrible.
So like we were driving the other day, and I was talking about how like seeing some homeless folks and that I've recognized.
Yeah.
And I also see people, because I drive the same route to work every day.
Yeah.
And I've been able to see the people get out of their car in the morning that they've slept in.
Yeah.
Kind of adjust, or they're brushing their teeth or whatever. And then I see them, like if I leave later, I'll see their car parked, and then I'll see them walking with their cardboard sign to go to a spot or an intersection to panhandle.
Yeah.
And I've seen the vehicle, and I've seen how beat up and trashed it is, and I've seen what they're living in. I see that they sit there every day, or then I see them downtown somewhere or something. I see them in different spots. I've started to recognize the same homeless people around a certain area. And you look at what they're actually trying to do, or they're hurt, or, you pull up and you see them and they're missing teeth, or they're just having a hard time. And then to see these violinists playing for basically the same thing, and then to see them wander off into a nice car.
Yeah,
or
the difference is some of these folks are like wandering off into a 4-year-old Mercedes or something, and then you're just
bothersome. It's bothersome because of that, and I can see the frustration in that.
But it makes it hard for the people who really.
But you're right. It's like a stolen. You're like,
well, it's like
you're not.
It's like you didn't learn how to play that, and the sad part is, and here's what I think I'm most upset about. The people that live here in Idaho, right, are really nice people, right? All the Idahoans are really nice people. The people that grew up here are not used to seeing something like that, right? They're not, right?
No,
and they haven't been exposed to that.
Carly and I were surprised when we saw one up over on
up
in our neighborhood doing
because
that.
Because there's shysters all around California. Seriously. I mean, like I grew up with that when I was a kid.
Oh no, the year I lived there, I was constantly getting roses and newspaper wiping my windshield at every off ramp. It was
there's a bunch of shysters out there, and that will always try to take advantage, right? And there's people that do magic tricks and take your jewelry from you. There's all sorts of stuff that can happen. But the people here have not grown up seeing that, and they're so trusting and so nice that as I sat there and watched this guy literally getting $20 bills every couple minutes, right? I saw a lady come up, right, drop money, was talking to her husband, and then she pulled up her phone and was showing him like a picture, and I think she was probably saying, "Oh, this is my son. He plays violin," or whatever it was. I couldn't really tell what she was saying, but then said that she was super happy, and the guy's just sitting there kind of nodding, and then she pulls out even more cash out of her purse and then dumps it in. And I'm like, dude, you're a freaking I hate that. I hate that this person is standing there taking credit for this, because that lady could have said, "Hey, this is my son. He passed away, but he played violin. And you remind me of him. Here's some more money." And I'm like, that guy doesn't even know how to play violin. And what's funny is that I actually posted up a video on my Instagram saying that it was frustrating.
Or not on Instagram, but on Facebook.
He was not even holding the bow correctly, right? Not even a little bit, right? And I saw what he was doing. He noticed me. I was taking a video of him, and he was looking at me okay, whatever. But I've seen a ton of videos where people will go up to the guy playing, grab his strings on his violin, and the music will still continue playing, right? And then they'll be like, "Oh, what the heck are you doing?" Right? And they pack up their stuff.
Which I'm going to point out right now, you probably shouldn't do that, because that's assault. And
it's assault. But I'm saying that some people, or they say, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you can play this song," right? And then they can't.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Hey, play Mary Had a Little Lamb." I can't. Well, that's weird that you can't play that, but you can play literally all these insane covers of all this other stuff.
No, it sounds amazing. It's fun when you're wandering out of the Home Depot or the Fred Meyer's and you hear the music. It's a
pleasant
sound. But then when you find out that it's just a speaker playing the music.
Well, yeah, it's a pleasant ambiance because it's some of the best violinists in the world, such as Robert Mendez or whatever, or whoever it may be, from YouTube or these
right.
insane covers that are multi instrument covers, right?
Yeah.
Where it's basically very like an orchestra,
Yeah.
right? And they're playing to
Right.
that, and then they take all the credit for it. I don't know. It's just frustrating because
Yeah.
it's one
You're
of those
mad
like,
because they don't deserve
well,
that.
You can't really fake playing guitar, at least not publicly, because too many
No.
people play guitar,
Yeah,
and they're going to
people
notice
know.
that. And they're going to be like, that guy's full of it, right?
Yeah.
Drums, you can't really fake that. It's the hit,
Yeah.
the way that motions go. Saxophone, you could probably fake. Maybe trumpet.
Not
maybe.
necessarily. Any kind of horn type instrument or woodwinds and stuff, it's harder to fake that because it wouldn't be coming through the speaker. You'd actually hear the sound coming from the instrument. If the person can't play, you'll know very quickly.
Oh, that is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Correct. You are
But
correct.
string
unless
instruments
it
are
was
tough because if you're playing the vibrations out through the speaker, then you have to rely on the speaker as the mode of.
Well, but I mean, but if
communication.
it's guitar, you're going to notice that.
Yeah, but
It's
like
drum
people
pattern.
can kind of tell on a guitar. But with like a bow and stuff like that, I'll be
so
honest,
hard
I
to
didn't
see.
play enough to really know like when I'm seeing something that's wrong, like my brain doesn't immediately go, that's wrong. But the main point is you're mad because they don't deserve to take the credit for the stolen valor kind of thing in that sense. I'm mad because they're making other people who are actually in that position forced to like other people second guess them now because they're like, oh, you might be one of those folks.
Yeah.
And
Just
they
gives
end
them all
up
a bad
suffering
name.
as a result too. So
Yeah.
as empathetic in different ways, but it still results in the same thing, which is
People
we
are
can't have nice
people,
things.
People have different opinions about it. I'm just
Yeah.
mad as a musician. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, I
and
get
I
that.
see that. I'm like, that's frustrating. Other people are mad because of Dane's reason. Other people are mad because they're taking advantage of people.
Yep.
And then
Other people just get annoyed anytime they see it.
Yeah, and other people are mad because it's like, hey, dude, why, you're
Yeah.
going through all this work. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then other people simply just don't care. And if you don't care, that's fine too. I mean,
Yeah.
So that was an interesting tangent. Hopefully
Can't
we didn't
have
upset too
nice
many people,
things.
but,
I
hey,
just want to
facts of life.
say Stephen Wilkie says he's going to be buying a brand new car tomorrow. He's going to be picking it up. Wanted to know what we would suggest, and he's in the UK. I would say, Stephen, if you haven't yet, get in touch with John at cleanandshiny.com.co.uk. Talk to John Hull. Get in touch with him. He'll help you out, straighten you out. I don't know if he carries any of our towel kits, but towels we suggest, Liquidators, Gauntlets, 365, Creatures, and Eagles. All great towels and FTWs. So take a look at those, get some of those. But if you're in the UK and you need to get them sooner rather than later, contact cleanandshiny.co.uk. Dirk Do saying nice week for all in Germany. Thank you, Dirk. We appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you.
And Anthony, I think you're right. We may
Yes,
need to get some
your weekend
schnitzel.
now, sir.
Yeah. Oh, my weekend now. Anyway, so sorry. I got frustrated again.
You want me to do my weekend while you
No,
think
I got
about
it.
relax,
I know I
chill
got
out,
it. I just it works me up
regress?
again thinking about that stupid thing because just
Yeah.
But Friday night, right? Pretty relaxed night, right?
Nice.
Pretty easy going. So there was the launch of a new game that I've been really
Okay.
excited about for a very long time. I lost many years of my life to a game called Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
It's a game that was on
Classic.
PC many
Yeah, I
years
remember
ago,
it back then.
roughly when I was like 12, 11,
Yeah, I was
12.
a 22-year-old guy
Yeah.
looking at that game going,
Everybody was playing like StarCraft or
people
that.
playing Diablo.
Yeah, so Diablo 2 was like, it's extremely addicting. It was one of the first
Yeah.
games where when you could really find like rare items and stuff like
Yeah.
that and get really excited, especially playing online. And I used to remember being an 11, 12-year-old, waiting for my parents to go to bed, right? And I'd be like, okay, it's 11 o'clock, right? I'll go over to my computer, right? I turn on the dial-up internet.
Yep.
It starts making all the
Yeah,
weird
the motor
sounds.
fires up.
And
it's all
I'm like, oh, things are about to get real, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Diablo 2 for like 2 hours, right? Then my mom, she would catch me. She'd walk in my room.
Yeah, 'cause-
Anthony, what are you doing
Well, your
up right
your
now? You
wall would start vibrating because of the
You're
the
school in the
fans
morning.
on the
Yeah.
Young man.
computer that was firing up.
And she would walk
I thought
in.
it was
She's like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you
diesel
watching on
engine.
there? I'm like,
that
I'm
a
playing
generator?
Diablo 2. And she's like, oh, I thought, so worried it was something
Anthony,
else.
that's the devil.
And then, but then she says, then she's like,
Excuse me?
Diablo? That means devil. She's like, are you playing some devil game? I said, no, Mom. It's
I'm
like
learning Spanish.
It's an RPG kind of looter. It's really fun. And she's like, I don't like what this game stands for, right? But I still played it for a couple of years. Anyway, fast forward to, in my 20s, when my friends picked it back up again,
Yeah.
got into it again. It's really fun. I kind of played that game on and off for a long time. Just like how people play like World of Warcraft or whatever.
Yeah, I played World of Warcraft back in the old days,
Yeah.
along with Age of Empires.
Oh,
Ooh.
Age of Empires.
Old
Classic.
on some
That's
old Macs.
Ooh,
That's what we
good.
did it on.
Old heads playing
Civilization.
Civilization.
Pre iMac stuff.
Ooh,
Age of
gotcha.
Empires. I played Homeworld, but I'm the weirdo.
Sims? You play Sims? You play The Sims at all?
Yeah, no.
I played SimCity 2000.
Played SimCity 2000, SimCopter.
I never did any of those.
Then also, which was fun because I could build cities in SimCity and then fly in them in SimCopter, and you'd like accidentally kill Sims and stuff before Sims had their own game.
My computer was never able to run anything that included like a large amount of action going on, right? So I remember playing like StarCraft or whatever it is, and the second I would build like an empire,
there's an explosion.
It just starts going super slow, and I'm like, oh, I think it's gonna crash. I built too much.
You got down to about 4 frames per second, and you're like, this is not working.
Because that was back in the day when computers they were so slow.
No, you had a 580.
Pentium 2 is crying.
You had a 586 or a 686. That was all you had, really, that you could run.
I think my graphics card was not even 64 megabytes. It was like something super small. But anyway, so the newest one came out, right? Diablo 2 Resurrected. Basically, Blizzard listened to what everybody wanted. Everybody basically said, stop creating crappy Diablo games and just remake Diablo 2 and make the graphics better, but change nothing about it.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay.
And they did it.
And they did it, right?
And you got to play it.
So Friday night, it was popping off, dude. Like, servers were overloaded. Nobody could even get into a game because that's how many people were trying to play. And it was awesome. It was like reliving in my childhood again. Nice. Played that for several hours, right? Got started, and I was pretty stoked on that. And then Saturday was my day to get a lot of honeydew things done, right? Which included another dump run, cardboard, right? Getting my bathroom, because we refinished part of my bathroom where we getting some built-in cabinets inside one side, and we cut what the heck you want to call it, the tabletop in half and all that.
Countertop.
So because Katie was like, I really want you to, she's like, I need you to hang all these things, right? Well, I've gotten pretty good at it, right? I figured out drywall, studs, figured out how to do certain things, the drywall to manipulate it. Really get everything dialed in. And so I did that, put new hardware in the bathrooms, and then I did go run into Dane because I was running to Home Depot, so I ran into him, saw the whole musician thing, put me in a bad mood. It was like, whatever.
Your weekend was ruined.
Keep going. I have things to do. I can't be this mad about it. But did that, and Saturday though was a pretty good day because I got a major award from my friends over at YouTube.
Wow!
Right? Yeah. They recognized the Anthony Fisher YouTube channel. What? Right?
Wow!
Crazy!
It's only got like 100 subscribers.
Yeah, less than
the Master of Shine channel and the Great Dane channel have more subscribers.
They recognized that. They just said, "Hey, you've done a good job.
For like literally 100.
Yeah,
I think that was the number you hit from 99 to 100 subscribers.
They said, "Congratulations! Here is a plaque for 100 subscribers." Wow. And I said, "Is this correct? Is this really from YouTube?"
Yeah.
And
because I have like 248, and I never got my 100. Do you have to apply for it or something?
Apply for it, yeah.
That's why I never applied for my 100 subscribers.
Silver plaque. Though, it's beautiful. It's actually everything that I hoped it would be.
Wow!
And the nice letter in there with a hand signature on it. I was pretty stoked. So I ended up getting that, and Katie was like, "Are you pretty happy?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm freaking jacked right now."
Yeah, accomplishment.
This is awesome. But did some other things around there, and just it was kind of a stay-at-home thing. Now the problem is that I have 2 projects I need to knock out, detailing wise, on my own cars that I trying to figure out when I'm going to have time to do it, because my garage is a nightmare. I don't feel like I have been able to
clean the garage, get it ready,
gather my thoughts because of the mess that my garage has been in. But I still need to polish out the cat scratches on the Evo. Still has to happen. Haven't done it yet because I need to do it. I need to recoat it, but it's one of those where I don't want to be bothered for like hours.
Right. Yeah. Right? You need some time, and
I need time. Right. Yeah. And the problem is Katie's been like, she's like, hey, we have all these projects. You have to keep going. And so the second I start something, it might be like 30 minutes, and I'll hear, hey, Anthony, and I'm like, yes.
I think this is how stuff's going to be going for a while.
I'm like, yes. I'm like, can I get you something? She's like, oh, yeah. Did you
20, 30-minute increments.
Did you notice this? I'm like, I know I haven't done that yet. And I'm like, can I have some time, a little bit, an hour or two? She's like, no. And I said, okay. So, love her to death, right? She's running the household right now, apparently. So, I need to still polish out the Evo. Still need to do that. And then I also need to polish out the entire front end of the Civic because I reinstalled my grill on my car. Turns out I had my grill installed wrong on my red Honda Civic for like 3 years.
Oh.
There are some clips to make it more flush. Didn't know about that, right?
You, knower of all things Honda,
Impressive.
didn't know about some hidden clips.
No, I didn't.
Wow.
So what ended up
Just shows you
happening
can always
is I
find more.
pulled off that whole front end, the whole front bumper and everything. Struggled with it, marred the crap out of my bumper. I'm talking like hand. It got way too handsy, right?
Yeah.
And so I need to go back through, repolish it, recoat it, probably just go CSL and EXO again. Unless we have like a bottle legend here, I might throw that on there and see what the difference might be. But so I need to recoat that and do that. So I have some detailing stuff I need to knock out and do. I just haven't had time. But also in the garage, we have had a lot of, I guess what I brought home was a lot of leakers, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So in the building next door, we've had some returns on some products or products that never even made it out of fulfillment because of a slight leak.
Well, like we have to.
They
we
check
have to
them before they
bag
go
'em.
out,
Well, we have
so.
to, when we get the bags, so it's like that gallon right there.
Yeah.
For instance, when we send these to Amazon, Amazon asks that we put them in a Ziploc bag. And we slap on our a don't choke bag, a don't suffocate sticker, and a don't, and then this is the scanner tag, so that at the fulfillment center they can just scan it, send you your gallon. They do that with the pints too. Sometimes what we have is we call them leakers, where we'll get a bag back and half the gallon is inside the bag,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where it cracked or there was a pinhole or something and the thing leaked. So. And sometimes people get them shipped to their house and they're leaking. And so what do? You send them back to Amazon. You do your return and Amazon sends it back. Well, Amazon sends it back to us.
Or sometimes UPS will send them back. They don't even deliver it.
They don't
say,
even
hey,
deliver.
They just return it. They just return to sender.
Hey, this thing broke. And
Yeah.
so anyway, we had a bunch of these half bags of stuff. It was something where we had to clean up. It was starting to get out of hand.
It's not a good thing. We don't want this to happen, and we try to say if you can salvage whatever the heck leaked, and if we can figure out how to take care of you another way, we will. It's just we had some.
We just
gallons,
we had some gallons we need to get rid of,
and we need to get rid of them, and because they're just taking up space, and so me and Levi went through and picked out. I mean, everybody here in the building went through and kind of picked out some stuff that they wanted to take home and use. So I ended up getting a thing of Pearl. I got a whole 5 liters of panel wipe.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What am I going to use? I don't know, but why not, right?
I got a Ziploc bag of panel wipe.
That's literally what he got.
Panel wipe. I got Pearl. I got some paint gloss. A gallon of blue bead maker that was found.
Yeah, we found
in a
half
dark
gallon
corner.
almost. Yeah,
Wow.
Pretty excited.
almost a
about.
gallon. I think it was 3/4 of a gallon.
I was
blue bead maker.
freaking jacked on the blue bead maker. Summer drink. So I thought it was gone forever.
Yeah.
And I think I got some Optimum car wash soap that had been cracked for a very long time.
Yeah, Juan was visiting. You guys know.
Yeah.
During our cleanup, Juan went to Winco and bought some 5-gallon jugs. And was literally like taking empty sacks and like pouring them. So he's like, "This one's gonna be Express. This one's gonna be bead maker." Yeah, did that. So he had his car loaded up with some jugs.
Yeah. So I spent some time on Saturday trying to organize my chemicals and go through.
Yeah.
Because I explained in my garage video that I do this thing where I kind of like I have to cycle in product, right? So I have like my little detailing cart. Whatever I throw on the cart's kind of what I'm using because I need to get rid of stuff, right? Because stuff just sits for too long. And I realized that I have a gallon of, and I love this stuff. It's just I have a gallon of McGuire's. What the heck is it called? It's like a dressing. It's not hyper dressing, but I know the number. I guess I can't think of it right now. It's a dressing that cleans and protects, right?
Yeah.
But there's so much of it because such a little goes a long way that I don't know how the heck I'm going to use it all, right?
Yeah.
So I have that. I have a thing of glass cleaner that I literally can't blow through. I think at a certain point, I think I have to start tossing things or giving them away. I'm not really sure, but it's also just a matter of what am I funneling and what am I reaching for first every single time. Yeah. So, but I spent some time taking those gallons, taking a small funnel and trying to fill things up and being like, how the heck am I going to use this much panel wipe? I wish panel wipe had other uses, I guess.
Well, I did that
Glass
too.
cleaning,
Clean
I
up a little
guess.
bit. You can do that. You can also cut it like you like to do. You cut it with water.
Well, that's the problem. I have 5 liters of panel wipe. That's really actually 10 liters of panel wipe once I cut it with distilled water.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's way too much. It's way too much product.
It's strong when you use it straight. So.
Yeah. But I think what I need to do, I need to clean the truck. I need to detail the interior of the truck and blow through product. Honestly.
Have just a marathon
it's a vinyl rubber cleaner from Meguiar's. I can't remember. It's a product name. But what I need to do, throw that into some IK multi-sprayers. Bam, blast that rubber floor, right? Clean it up, make sure it's not too slippery, right? You know, where my feet are at least.
Yeah.
But just get everything cleaned up because, I'm starting to build up too much chemicals, and taking home the chemicals from last week, I realize I think I have too much.
Yeah.
So I need to go through and do that. Still need to knock out the other cars, polish coat. But then Sunday, pretty chill day. I really wanted to go see a movie because I think there's some new movies coming out here this week, right? That are pretty.
I have
supposed
no
to be
idea,
pretty good.
but yeah.
I want to see that new Infinite movie on Paramount Plus streaming on there. Mark Wahlberg. You guys seen it?
I haven't heard anything about it.
I don't know that one.
It says it's the #1 most rated movie in the world.
Okay. That's probably
They do that
them
every time a
doing
new
that.
movie comes out and it gets halfway decent reviews.
Probably
It's the
what
#1 rated movie in theaters currently right now.
No, it's
And then an actual
services.
decent movie comes out 2 seconds later. We can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But yeah, no. Then the rest of Sunday was cleaning up. Sold a bunch of crap on Facebook Marketplace, old things, yeah. No, so nothing too exciting. I wish there was more cool stuff done.
Oh.
Nice. Well, that's not too bad.
Well, you had a weekend, didn't you, Levi?
So I worked most of the weekend. I had a car got dropped off, a truck got dropped off on Friday night here. I drove it home, picked up some Little Caesar, or not some Little Caesar. I went to Chicago Connection.
Ooh, did ya?
Got a couple of deep dish pies.
Is that when you saw my former
I did.
Z?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So Dane Z was parked out along the road there.
How clean
near
was it?
Very dusty, very dirty. So I grabbed some pizzas, headed home. We ate some pizza and just kind of hung out. Friday night was pretty chill, pretty relaxed. We kind of started, I've been working slowly but surely on my ghosts women, and so we kind of worked on them. Saturday morning, I got another card got dropped off, an interior detail. The white truck that I picked up on Friday was a exterior detail. So knocked out the interior detail for a friend of mine. His wife owns Bad Boy Burgers. So it was for his daughter, and got her little Corolla cleaned up. Nice black leather interior, simple detail, not too bad. Really needed to just steam the center inserts on the leather because they were tweed like on my Camry, and they had a dog in the car. And so the car wasn't bad, it just needed to be cleaned. So got that done. That's what I worked on most of Saturday was that car. And me and the kids went and got, ran around, did some stuff. Carly and I and the kids, we went to Costco, got me a canoe.
Ooh.
We went to, looked at Halloween costumes. Augie got his at Costco. He's got a knight costume. He's very excied about it.
Like chainmail?
Kind of, yeah. Some platelets and stuff, a cape. He's very excited. Ooh. But we looked at some more Halloween decorations, just looked around stuff. But the canoe I got, the 2-person canoe, last one that they had at Costco, screaming deal. So much so that I could double my money if I wanted to keep it in the box and sell it next year.
Whoa. Are they like tents or sleeping bags where they say, oh, it's for 2 people, but really it's just one?
No, it's 2. They had it. They actually had the model sitting there.
Okay.
And I walked by and I was like, holy crap, because it was literally the last 2 that they had. And clearancing it out, and because it's the end of the season.
Yeah.
And Carly and I have been looking for one, because we thought when we actually floated the river this year with the kids, they did so well that Carly and I were like, shoot, if we could just get a canoe, 2-person canoe, then myself or her could take it by ourselves, or with one of the children just to go out for a little while, and do it, and then the other one could pick the other 2 up and kind of deal. And so we thought, shoot, just be nice to get one and go, and. So I've been pricing it. It was actually quite a bit. A 1-person, not so bad. Hard side 1-person, not so bad. But to get into a 2-person at a decent price, you still had to go with almost an inflatable, if not getting an old school hardwood canoe.
Yeah.
And so I was, so it was nice. So we got that, and I just kept it in the box. It's in the garage, and we'll see. I don't know when they're going to close the river I know it's within the next couple weeks.
It's getting pretty cold.
Yeah. The water's starting to get cold. So I think we may not use it this year. We'll probably use it next year. So I'll just leave it in the box.
You got a good deal.
So
you're ready.
But in your above ground pool?
And my above ground pool is already put away.
Ah, dang.
So yeah, that would be funny if I used it on that. But so Saturday night, I recorded a new episode of the Master of Shine at Home podcast.
Yeah.
Got that posted. Did that last. Carly went out Saturday night, so I had the night to myself. So I worked on the car. Took the kids to dinner. We went to Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
Then
I thought you were going to say Cottonwood Grill. My
no, I took my two children
Your
to the
kids wouldn't appreciate
we went
that.
to Chick-fil-A and then went to the park to Julie Davis and had a little picnic at my grandfather's tree, and sat there, ate our food, and then took them around because Tree Fort was going on this weekend.
Yeah.
So we drove by, did a couple laps around the festival so they could see,
for people who don't
just so
know.
my kids could see, because you could still see the bands playing on at the stages and stuff. And so then went home, worked on the car, put them to bed, worked on the car, recorded the podcast, then went to bed. So you guys can listen to it now. It's out, episode 6.
Where could it be streamed at?
Anywhere you find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, even Stitcher Audio. You too can listen to Master of Shine.
Was there any
at
product
home.
placement plugs in
No, actually, in this one, I don't think there was.
He just saves it for our show.
Yeah. This one was the actual product plug was my top sponsor, Maria Delgado. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My mom has been sponsoring the Master of Shine at Home podcast. I don't think she realized for about 6 months.
She keeps the lights on, huh?
She basically funded everything I bought for my little studio, from shelving to my desk to the foam to the new microphone that I just picked up. All came from my mom.
Wow.
So I had to give her a shout out because she basically has been paying $10 a month for the podcast. And it's been on reoccurring charge. And I'm like, I felt bad. And I was like, hey, you're paying for it. She's like, oh, that's fine. But I want an episode. And I was like, all right, I'll get it done. But I showed her what I was doing, and she liked that it was getting done. But yeah.
I think that the new microphone is going to take things to the next level.
I think
What'd
it
you
will.
go with?
I think it will. It's sitting on my desk, Dane. So you have to take a look at it.
Take a look.
I
know you got your Blue Yeti.
So anyway, finished that Sunday. Finished the little car, pulled it out, and then started decon washing the white truck. The white truck is an 04 Sierra, GMC Sierra, crew cab, short box, 2-wheel drive. Really nice truck, 140,000 miles. It's got the 5.3 liter in it. Really nice truck. Anthony saw it when I left. But the outside, a lot of oxidation and had a lot of staining. Had water spots on one side and a lot of staining under the trim where water would pool and run. And so it had some kind of iron deposit staining. So heavy decon. I washed it. Took me about 2.5 hours just to get it washed. A lot of acid, a lot of decon, iron removal, stuff like that. I need to clay it now. Is the next thing I need to do. But by the time I got all that done on Saturday, because Sunday was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
So
the sun was
didn't want to wash. So I finished the little car in the morning, then was going to start washing the truck, and it was just too hot. And I was like, I can't wash as much washing as I'm going to do. It's too hot to do it outside. So I waited till the evening once it cooled down. Then I could really get into this thorough wash. In the meantime, Carly and I wanted to get the ghosts finished and set up and get our yard finished and set up. And so, Nick, if you want, you can play the yard one that I sent you. So this is our yard all set up, ready to rock. The ghosts aren't out yet, but I'm going to be getting those gals placed. So, but pretty cool. Yard's looking good.
Liking the vibes there. Honestly, I could already hear Jackie Daytona.
Very nice.
I could imagine him walking out that side door there, and saying, welcome.
You mean my front door,
suburban home.
side door? Yeah. Well, this is a regular human house.
Yeah.
And then, but what's funny was, so during that time period when it got a little warm, too warm to wash, Hadley goes, because we drove by it the night before, she goes, I want to go to Rhodes. And I said, you do? Why? She goes, I got a trick I'm practicing on my scooter. I'd like to go there. And she wouldn't let this die. I mean, this girl all night kept saying, when are we going to Rhodes? I said, I don't know, maybe tomorrow? Yeah.
Where's
and
Rhodes
so it's under the bridge, under the overpass, right downtown.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's where all.
A lot of homeless people are down there.
Well,
a lot of
homeless people. That's where all the pros go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and they all go there and
it's
smoke,
a cool
and
park.
smoke illegal substances.
Yeah. So it's a cool park. It's a really neat skate park underneath.
Cool kids go.
Yeah, literally underneath the
mom warned you
overpasses for getting on and off the connector. So took Hadley and Augie there. Augie's like, I go, do you want to bring your scooter? He's like, no, I'm going to bring my bike. And I said, okay.
Oh.
So took the kids to Rhodes. It was hot. It was probably 90. It was warm. But thankfully, Rhodes had a lot of shade. So cruised over there. Hadley did some tricks on her scooter. So I don't know if Nick's got that one. Yep, here we go. So you see she rolls into the bowl. She's picking up some speed. She goes up the little hump. Now this, when she turns around, dude, this place was packed with children this weekend.
Yeah, for people who think Boise is a
kids.
tiny little podunk place, the skate park is legit pretty big here.
This is a huge X Games style park.
considered.
So watch this. Here it goes. She goes down, and then look at that. Look at that footwork. Look at that. That was the trick she's been working on. Was that footwork
That's
one?
honestly pretty impressive.
And then Og is rolling around. This is his trick. He's gonna go up the little ramp here, and then this is cool. He goes a little bit up the ball, then he goes one-handed.
Oh, wow.
He's riding his bike one-handed. Now wait, he's gonna turn around, and this is the crazy thing right here. I bet you've never seen this, guys.
Okay.
Look at his hands on his bike handlebars.
Oh, look
Two
how
finger in
cool.
it.
Look how
Two
chill
finger in
he
it.
is.
Down the ramp, back up the other side.
Dang.
Wow.
So really, I mean, ready for the X Games.
Well, right when I saw him
Actually
swing his
helped him
hand
there.
off to the side like
Drop
that,
it down
I was like, dang.
and raise it up to hype everybody up.
That's a kid right there that you would see.
That's swagger.
That's a kid that you would see hanging out right outside of high school.
Oh yeah.
On a high school day
Just kicking
without actually being in school.
The weird 25-year-old who's like hanging outside the fence, like,
maybe not even 25, just a kid that's the same age
Yeah.
as you, and you're
Oh,
like,
he's just
you're like,
missing-
hey,
skipping it,
Don't you have
school.
class today? He's like, I haven't gone to school in years.
Yeah.
See ya.
No, but that's so those two they pulled off some sweet tricks. So Hadley's like, I'm going to do my trick now. And I was like, all right. So we were there for about 45 minutes. And it wasn't until the very end that she goes, I'm going to do my trick. And I was like, oh, what was your trick? And it's that fancy footwork.
Yeah.
Pops back and forth
You're
on
like,
it.
you're like, we needed to go here for that?
It's like
That's
doing
really
a
what
shuffle
I
on
thought.
it.
You could have done that at home.
So I will tell you, it is absolutely terrifying to go to Rhodes Park with your two kids who literally are just going to ride around.
Yeah.
And you've got kids and actual skateboarders doing tricks, and they are like dropping in and flying.
Because they actually help.
Because they're
an X
actually
Games event or two.
Yeah,
at
no,
that
these
exact
guys are
park.
like I was like, we don't need to be here. We are not the
I think
people that need to
Element
play
has
here.
one of its facilities here, right?
Yeah, like it is.
Element skateboards and
Yeah.
Element skatewear. Yeah.
It was one of those where I was like, we are the wrong people, but thankfully it was Sunday and there was a ton of parents with a ton of little kids all there. So it was like the right time to go. If we would have
It's
gone
not
on
typical there.
If we had gone on like a Friday night or Saturday night, my kids would have been wrecked. Like
Yeah.
they would have I would have come home and they would have been both hurt or knocked off their bikes and scooters and all that. So
Also, it's underneath the freeway. So like
It's-
the freeway
yeah.
is literally going above it. And didn't a motorcyclist like wreck there
Yes.
and fall into the park one time?
He
Because there's a
literally-
gap between
he
the left
literally
and right
lost
lanes going
control,
opposite ways.
hit the barrier, went over the side and fell to his death there into that area.
Yeah, so that skate park is gnarly.
Yeah, so it's legit, but
Yeah.
it was one of those where there was a good smattering of homeless people wandered around. You could see them all over. It was great. There was a lot of panhandlers, but I was thankful that the kids did well. I'm thankful no one got hurt.
Yep.
It was so scary.
There's
Just
a lot
watching.
of other
Oh my gosh,
parks
you'd
you
have
could have gone
10
to that
kids
have
all
skate
dropping in at once, and
elements.
there's a turn, and you're seeing them. You're standing up there as the
You're like,
parent.
my kids are
You're
about
like,
to get
oh,
killed."
someone's gonna get
also the
impaled.
handlebars
Yeah.
just go
Yeah,
whoop.
yeah, someone's gonna get it, and nothing happened, thankfully. But every time I was just like, like it was stressful for me. So then we
sit
got
back,
done, and the kids were like, "Man, we're thirsty." I was like, "Well, let's go get ourselves some sodas, like
So
just
ice
chill
cold-
out,
ice
like."
cold fountain drinks.
Yeah.
But
All done.
It was
Yeah.
that's what we did. So
well, when
but-
you're that age, you're gonna fall. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna fall pretty. I mean, I built ramps when I was a
Oh,
kid
yeah.
that age, but I built them really crappily out of like scrap
they collapse
wood.
under the weight of
they
it
would
going
collapse,
over.
they would all that, and then my parents would be like, "What are you making these ramps out of? Nails and a hammer."
Yeah.
Right?
Some real hot rod stuff.
Nails are not for that kind of thing, right?
Right.
My dad eventually showed me how to use a screwdriver.
Yeah.
With an electric gun.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to screw these in
Yeah.
to get this to really hold. And
Oh, you mean these finish nails aren't doing it?
Yeah.
or like you know how you build a ramp, but maybe like your entrance onto that is like a short piece of wood, like
Yeah.
with not enough angle.
There's
to
no
it,
support
so-
under
you
it.
literally
It just
go over
caves.
it. You head nose it over.
and you're like, look how much air I'm catching.
Yeah.
I think it was finally I had a friend whose dad was actually like a carpenter and built a ramp for me and said, hey, this has got the right type of wood that flexes and it'll actually give you air. Right when he dropped it off my house and I hit it for like the first couple of times, my parents were freaked out. They were like, he's going, this is now
too
it's,
much.
now
work.
it's too much. Now it's too much. Like it was cute before, but now this is scary.
Now, see,
because-
I raced BMX when I was a kid.
yeah.
And so I would just go to the BMX tracks and we would ride. And my dad would always take me. And then he would help me build a ramp for out front. And so I always had a ramp to do it. Hadley, she's good at it. She likes doing that stuff. But Augie scares me. He's too crazy.
The confidence is there, but the skills are not.
Yeah, I can take him to the bike park. And the bike park that we go to, that's way more their speed. There's more kids there. It's not so nuts. They can go kind of ride around and they can have fun. That terrified me on the roads. I was like,
It's a bunch of cement.
so I'm thinking of just how
Make
much
sure your helmet's
pain.
on. Put your mouth guards in.
I literally had to cinch up. Augie put on his helmet. He's like, "What do you think?" It's hanging
Wobble,
down,
wobble, wobble.
hanging down to here. And I was like, "No, that's gonna fly off the first chance it gets." So it was tighten it down. I was amazed though to see how many parents were there though with kids without helmets,
Oh yeah.
like little kids without helmets. And I was like, "Dudes, these guys are like."
concrete. That's how
It's
you
concrete
bust.
and
one too
metal,
many
steel pipe, like piping.
Kids hit their
Like,
heads and it's not good. Like between
Yeah.
family functions or going to a skate park or whatever, it's just once you've seen it a few times, you never want to be put in that position.
Oh, it
ever.
was terrifying.
It's all
But it was
cool
fun.
until it's not.
Good weekend. Carly was thankful that I took them to go do that because it got Hadley to leave her alone for a little bit because Hadley was like, "When do we go? When can we go?" So, but good overall. Nice fun evening. Worked on just finishing up the yard, mowed the lawn, just did our last mow. I'm going to start harvesting the pumpkins this week. We'll start cutting them down and just get it going from there. But I got to finish that truck tonight. I'm going to protect the truck just with a coarse wool pad. I think that'll get pretty much everything. The guy's just going to daily it. That's going to be one of his dailies. So, but that's it, Dane.
That's it?
Take us home.
Okay, that's it. Well, guys, speaking of hand injuries, watch the horror movie Malignant and tell me what you think of it. I found it hilarious, but just crazy. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening sometime in the future, I hope you're subscribed to the podcast. If you're not, please hit that button. It helps us out. It helps other people. And leave a review while you're at it, too. We really appreciate that as well. So if you haven't done those things, the last thing I will say is watch Sydney's Garage Tour on the main channel. Go check it out. Really appreciate it. And that's it. See ya.
See ya.